Hi. Um, I can't sleep. I have been focusing on the good that's going on in my life right now. Um, so, some of those. Um, Tonight, me and the boys, my younger two, had a movie night, and we're all sleeping in the living room. They love it though. I do too. Sometimes it's hard. Um, I don't know if I said this in the last video, but I struggle with depression and anxiety. And it's hard sometimes because most of the time I just want to be alone. And with kids, you can't really do that. Um, for the last few weeks, I've been isolating myself. Been hard. Ran into some things that were comfortable and just not for me. And I'm glad that I seen that sooner rather than later. And for me, I talk about seeing that, but I've seen it before. And so I have to be accountable. And something we talked about in therapy was, we're responsible for our own actions. And I made a choice. And there were consequences to those choices. And, they could have been worse. They were pretty bad, though. I let myself down, first and foremost. And I wasn't really strong in saying no. And sticking to no, that's really hard for me. I struggle with it a lot. People pleasing is a real thing, and it's an issue for a lot of people, especially me. Anyways, little bit, kind of all over the place right now. I seen a raccoon. He was pretty big. This is so random. I already know. I'm trying to get more comfortable with opening up and talking to a bunch of random people. And the weirdest thing is you don't get to see who watches it. So, there's that. Today in counseling, we talked about safety and what that feels like. And for some people, it's really easy to just list off these numerous things to be like, oh, this is safety, this is safety. But for somebody that hasn't had it a lot in their life, it's not that easy. And so I was thinking about it and I was like, what is safety really? And my brain just blinked. Like, no thought, anything, just didn't know how to answer that. And so me and my counselor started talking about some grounding techniques and heartburn comes from pizza. My favorite grounding technique has been focusing on my breathing, because we need air to live in that safety. So Yeah, that's the one that's working for me right now. If you guys have any other grounding techniques, you could drop it in the comments. Yeah, I'm kind of weird. Trying to make light of a situation when my heart feels really heavy. I'm a Ducks fan, and they're winning continuously. It's pretty awesome. I'm gonna get better at this, I swear. Recently, I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do. I love dental assisting, and I said that in my last video. But I get paranoid sometimes. I'm interested in social work and becoming a foster parent. The one thing in my life that I feel like I'm good at is being a mom. And recently, I've had a lot of doubt put in me about the kind of mom that I am. And obviously, we can all use improvements as parents. We all make mistakes. But I don't think I was as bad as someone tried to make me feel. I guess I've just been really frustrated recently. I've been in my head quite a bit about the way our relationship started in the beginning, and it started crazy. I remember talking to you, and I think I brought this up in my last video, but I was in a bad place and was not talking to just one person. I was talking to multiple people. And you had said some things about the way I dressed and the type of people I was going to attract, and how it just wasn't the thing to do. If I was really out here looking for love, then I wouldn't be doing these things. And you put me down quite a bit, and then we're like, well, I'm not like most guys. I don't want the same thing from you. And I came over the first night, in the middle of the night, and we hung out for a few hours and listened to music and talked. We talked for so long. That's something we never really struggled with in the relationship, was him talking. You could talk for hours, just saying. And I remember looking at you and just being in awe of the person that I seen in front of me. And I felt like you made me want to not be with anybody else. You made me want to be the loyal person that I was in relationships where I was getting nothing but disloyalty and abuse. And so I fell for that from you. I remember looking at your phone a few times and seeing that I wasn't the only girl that you pulled like that. That was your I don't even know. That was your move. You would talk to girls that looked like they had some stuff going on in their lives, and you would put them down for their parents and tell them how it's not right, and then you would sleep with them or try to sleep with them and then call them names and put them down. And it's frustrating. Parts of me want to scream, and then parts of me want to cry. Parts of me miss you, and parts of me just like know that this distance is exactly what I need. And for anyone that actually watches this whole video, I hope that when you hear it, you're not judging. I know for somebody that's never been in a relationship where there's domestic violence, everybody's just like, well, why don't you just leave? It's not that hard. Or, well, you must like it because you stay. And like, that's not at all true. And it's hard to leave. For one, we love the people. I loved him, and I still love him. Yeah. And there wasn't always bad times. There were some really good times too. Recently, my head's just been flooding with all the good, and so it makes it hard not to reach out and not to just run back. And you know, I wish I had friends to talk to about this, but I don't. And you were my friend, and you made sure I didn't have any other friends, so it's a lonely feeling. Yeah, it's hard. If anybody else is going through it tonight, like I get it. You're not alone. Even though you feel like you are, you're not. And it's okay to feel however you feel, you know. That's what I was told today. It's okay to be angry, and it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be like to miss them. It's all okay, but it doesn't feel okay.